say the name of Jesus. When I'm on my knees, I'ma need to say the name of Jesus. He's all I need. Through the storm and rain, I stand by his name. There ain't no shame in his name. I'ma need to say the name of Jesus. Name of Jesus.
Hello, family and friends. We let's see what time it is. It is 10:14. So, I've had a busy day today, and so here we are. And thanks for joining me to discuss the word of the Lord. And we left off last time in the wilderness, Moses and Israel um, in the wilderness, and they had prevailed in a battle against Amalek. And so we're in chapter 18 now, and the first verse takes place in the wilderness still, and I believe that they were in the wilderness of sin at the time, and I believe they are still there in the wilderness of sin. And we're going to read verse 1. When Jethro, the priest of Midian, Moses' father-in-law, heard of all that God had done for Moses and for Israel, his people, and that the Lord had brought Israel out of Egypt. Then Jethro, verse 2, then Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, took Zipporah, Moses' wife, after he had sent her back, verse 3, and her two sons, of which the name of one was Gershom, for he said, I have been an alien in a strange land. Verse 4 says, and the name of the other was Eleazar, for the God of my father said he was mine help and deliver me from the sword of Pharaoh. So we're going to stop there. So Jethro, who is Moses' father-in-law, brought the children and his wife to see him in the wilderness. And Jethro, who is Moses' father-in-law, is a priest of Midian. And so he brought his wife and children to see him in the wilderness because they were not with him at that time. So we're going to read verse 5, 6, 7, and 8. And Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, came with his sons and his wife unto Moses into the wilderness, where he encamped at the mount of God. Verse 6, and he said unto Moses, I, thy father-in-law, Jethro, am come unto thee, and thy wife, and her two sons with her. Verse 7, and Moses went out to meet his father-in-law, and did obedience, and kissed him, and they asked each other of their welfare, and they came into the tent. And verse 8, and Moses told his father-in-law all that the Lord had done unto Pharaoh and to the Egyptians for Israel's sake, and all the travail that had come upon them by the way how the Lord delivered them. So they were in the wilderness still, and Moses was encamped at the Mount of God. And so I'm thinking that he was on a mountain there or hill, and Moses is explaining to his father-in-law Jethro that he, what happened with everything, because uh, the word has gotten out into the streets that the Lord delivered the Israelites out of Egypt and what happened to Pharaoh's army. And so this is what's going on at this time. And so, and they're talking about also the hardship, the trials and the tribulations, the things that they had to go through while leaving or trying to leave Egypt, and what they had to go through since, up until this point. So he's, giving a testimony to his father in law, Jethro, the priest of Midian. So let's go on to verse 9. And Jethro rejoiced for all the goodness which the Lord had done to Israel, whom he had delivered out of the hand of the Egyptians. Verse 10. And Jethro said, Blessed be the Lord, who hath delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians, and out of the hand of Pharaoh, who hath delivered the people from under the hand of the Egyptians. Verse 11. Now I know that the Lord is greater than all gods, for in the thing wherein they dealt proudly, he was above them. Verse 12. And Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, took a burnt offering and sacrifices it for God. And Aaron came and all the elders of Israel to eat bread with Moses, father-in-law, before God. And it came to pass verse 13. And it came to pass on the morrow that Moses set to judge the people, and the people stood by Moses from the morning until the evening. Okay, so before we get into Moses judging the people, we're going to talk about so Jethro, who's a priest, he acknowledges God as being a great God, and delivering the people out of the hands of mighty Pharaoh. Pharaoh was a king, and he had people that was under his authority. And but God, who saw the suffering and things that was going on that wasn't happy, and so he talked with his servant Moses, and he used him to bring them out of Egypt, that they may go to the promised land, where he said that it is flowing with milk and honey. Now, so then Jethro offered a sacrifice to God, And Aaron and the elders, they all broke bread after just rejoicing and talking about this spectacular event that happened. And it's being spoke about in the streets. This what happened. And so now we come to where Moses is judging the people. Okay. So what verse we are in? Okay, so the next day, that's what happened. The next day, Moses sat down to judge the people in verse 13. So in verse 14, it says, "And when Moses' father-in-law saw all that he had did, all he saw all that he did to the people, he said, What is this thing that thou doest to the people? Why sittest thou thyself alone, and all the people stand by thee from morning to evening?" Well, it says to even, but we know that's evening. And Moses said unto his father, because the people come unto me to inquire of God. Verse 16 says, when they have a matter, they come unto me, and I judge between one another, and I do make, let's see. I don't know, I kind of got distracted. It's like this glare. I wonder if I could kind of like take these off. See if I can see these words. So, when they have a matter, we're in verse 16. When they have a matter, they come unto me, and I judge between one and another, and I do make them know the statutes of God and his laws. And take a drink of water. This water. So in verse 17, and Moses' father-in-law said unto him, the thing that thou doest is not good. Verse 18, thou wilt surely wear away both thou and this people that is with thee, for this thing is too heavy for thee. Thou art not able to perform it thyself alone. So let's just stop right there. So Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, he observed that Moses had the people coming to him all day long until, the sun is going down about matters, counsel, concerns. And he's the only one who is talking with them. And, like, can you imagine that? Like, I don't know, I'm just thinking of a job. You sit in an office and you're like, let's see, I don't know, maybe the administrative or administrative assistant or whatever. And everybody in the corner office, including the boss, CEO, and all that, they come to you like all day wanting something. And that's just for 8 hours, and that's just probably not like a whole bunch of people. I mean, it's probably a small amount of people in the office, right? So, but Moses, he had there was thousands of them that left. So let's pause and let's look back and see how much left them out of Egypt. Okay? Let me find it really quick and we can get that exact number. Who all left that night out of Egypt? Okay, so on that fateful night, um, let's see, Exodus, where is Exodus 12? Yeah, Exodus 12 and 37. And the children, let me put my light on it, my book light. Um, and the children of Israel journeyed from Ramesses to Succoth, about 600,000 on foot that were men beside children. 38. And a mixed multitude went up also with them, and flocks and herds and very much cattle. So Moses had a lot of people encamped out there in the wilderness with him, and livestock and everything. And so he's kind of like, he's a head honcho out there with them. And so everyone's following his lead. And so that's a big responsibility. And so Jethro's telling him, like, you're gonna tire yourself out, like you're gonna get burnt out from this. Um, this he's kind of like saying he has an ideal because he's telling him, hey, you can this gonna happen. So I'm guessing he got an ideal on how he gonna solve the problem. Okay, so let's see. Um, so we're at in Moses in law. Let's see, said unto him, the thing that thou doest is not good. Thou wilt surely wear away both thou and this people that is with thee. For this thing is too heavy for thee. Thou art not able to perform it thyself alone. And so he needs help. And, with him, other people are waiting, like just say that there's a bunch of issues. I don't know, like something went missing in the middle of the night and get up early in the morning, and they take the problem to Moses, and and there's lots of people and stuff like that, and so it can get tiring to Moses and them. So verse 19, he said, hearken now unto my voice, I will give thee counsel. Okay, and God shall be with thee. Be thou for the people to good word, that thou mayest bring the causes unto God. So he's saying, I'm going to give you some counsel, and please listen to me. That's what he said first. Please listen to me. I'm going to give you some counsel, and God is going to be with you in this. So, he's he's spoken into existence, as he said, God's going to be with you when I give you this counsel. Okay. So, what does it say? Good word that thou mayest bring the causes unto God. So verse 20 says, and thou shalt teach them ordinances and laws, and shall show them the way wherein they must walk, and the work that they must do. Moreover, verse 21, thou shalt provide out of all the people able men, such as fear God, men of truth, hating, oh my goodness, you guys, I can never say this word, covetousness. I'm not even sure if that's how you pronounce it, but it is a word that I will look up and tell you what it means. And let me finish reading the verse. It says, and place such over them to be rulers of thousands, and rulers of hundreds, and rulers of fifties, and rulers of 10. And so he's like, he's saying, get the men, I'm thinking the elders, strong men of integrity, basically integrity that that fear God. So they're not gonna be on no like childish stuff or let's see, scamming, uh adultery, all that type of stuff. They ain't on none of that, you know. And so get those men and put them, break it down to from the thousands to the hundreds to the fifties to the tens, that they rule over them as far as handling their concerns and everything. Because you know what? All these people, they have different personalities and stuff like that, and they have families and stuff like that. This is a hard task to do. So, let me pause so I can look up this word that I can never say. So let me look up this word so I can see what explain to you what this word is. I know what it is, but I want to give you the definition. Okay, one moment. Okay, I probably should have said uno momento, one moment, because I haven't really said any Espanol palabras in a while. So um, I probably need to say some Spanish words every now and then. So, okay, let me see if I looked up this word and it gave me another long word. So I looked it up on my phone and it says it's a noun, and it means eager or excessive desire, especially for wealth or possessions. Social media so often encourages us to compare ourselves to others, inspiring covetousness and insecurity. I think I'm totally like not saying this word right at all. Um, hey, they have let's see what it says. Covetousness. Covetousness. That's co- Covet- covetousness. Covetousness. So okay, this word, covetousness. And so, like, it's like being insecure and, desiring, like what other people have, basically. Yeah. So, and comparing yourselves. So, and just be happy in yourself and be happy with what you got. If you want more for yourself, then, you can work hard to get it, but not because somebody else has these things. Should you desire to want them too? But if you like nice things and stuff like that, get you the nice things and everything. But just because um, the next person has all these things and you're like, I want this, I want that because she has this. Oh my goodness. Yes, I know. I know people like this. And if you, if something is happening better for you, they might not, can even be your friend behind it. I've seen it happen. Um, because they're like, where is this for me and all of that stuff. And they see all these good things happening for you. And so that's how it is. But so we don't want these men to have that because these are rulers and we want them to be, men of good integrity. and actually looking out for the best interests of the people. So let's move on to verse 22. And let them judge the people at all seasons, and it shall be that every great matter they shall bring unto thee, but every small matter they shall judge. So shall it be easier for thyself, and they shall bear the burdens with thee. Okay, so let's stop right there. He said a mouthful. Um, so now that when he organized this plan that his father-in-law, Jethro, has suggested him to do, he will have more time for even his family, you know, and not have to worry about the people being in line with all these concerns and things like that. Because I'm pretty sure that they're like, where the meal coming from, all this stuff, because he got all these people, thousands of people on, in the wilderness, living out there in the wilderness of sin, um, intense, and they have families and everything's like that. And you know how people are, they have different personalities. People get mad. You already have seen, the behavior of some when they didn't have no water and they were hungry. They're like, you know, um, they were thinking, well, we were better off where we were in Egypt. And they were like, you brought us out here to die, our families, because, they're looking at their children and they're like, how are we going to be able to provide water for them and stuff like that. And so these, this is so different for them to go through these things because they've been in Egypt for so long. And so that's all that they knew. And Moses is carrying all this on his back without help. So now he's gonna get some help from the guys that he chooses to help with the people concerns, and they are going to judge like little matters. But if something's big, then they're going to bring it to Moses. And Moses, more than likely, I'm sure, he will inquire of God on these big issues to see how to handle them, what to do, how to proceed, what are the instructions on getting past whatever the situation may arise. So, with this, Moses' burden will be much lighter. So let's move on to verse 23, and we're going to just do this chapter 18 tonight, and next we'll move on to 19, and maybe we can cover more. Chapter 18, verse 23 is where we are. If thou shalt do this thing, and God command thee so, then thou shalt be able to endure, and all this people shall also go to their place in peace. So Moses hearkened to the voice of his father-in-law and did all that he had said. Verse 25, and Moses chose able men out of all Israel and made them heads over the people, rulers of thousands, rulers of hundreds, rulers of fifties, and rulers of tens. Verse 26, and they judged the people at all seasons. They, hold on, nope, that's not what that says. Verse 26, and they judged the people at all seasons, and hard causes they brought unto Moses, but every small matter they judged themselves. Verse 27, and Moses let his father in law depart, and he went his way into his own land. So, they said, we're going to judge all this in all seasons. So, all year long, every year, they will help Moses out in counseling the people. Um, and so, Moses, after, Jethro kind of like, saw everything was good and visit him and all that stuff, and know that the wife was going to be good, his daughter, Jethro's daughter, and the children and stuff. So he went on his way back to his land. And so it didn't say that he carried them back with him. He said he left them with him. He was bringing them to him. So I'm guessing that Moses' wife and two children will be with him in the wilderness at this time. And so they will be experiencing what Moses is going through. But we'll see as we continue to read along. That's just my thoughts that they're there to stay in the wilderness now with Moses. So I hope that I have helped someone. I truly like these readings because I also help myself. I also learn a great deal. And try to apply these values to my own life. So let me know, how do you feel about these readings, and how does it like apply to your life, or if it does or if it doesn't. Leave a comment, and till next time, I'll be posting again on Tuesday. God bless you all, and read to show thyself approved. Have a good night.